All right, this here is the story of three carburetors and two tractors, one Husky, one Craftsman. Three carburetors, two manifolds, I forgot about the manifolds, and two tractors, one Husky, one Craftsman. We've got rust, we've got carburetors, we've got China, we've got chokes, missing chokes, unfeathered chokes, chokes of a feather. I'll tell you what, if you're not confused by this time, you should be. And so am I. Well, stay tuned, check it out, and see how I figure out this tale, what I call my TractorPalooza. Hey guys, thanks for visiting. I'm Dave with Saving Your Sanctuary, and this video actually involves that orange tractor more than it does this red tractor up front. In this, I'm actually going to take three carburetors, mix them about, rebuild a couple, de-rust one particularly bad one, and then I'm going to go ahead and try to get that one in the back, which has been off the road for 3 years now since Hurricane Ian actually had some water intrusion into the engine, back on the lawn. So if you like this, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell. It says I promise it'll be interesting. Not going to go in, well, I go into a lot of detail, but just say there's two parts to this video and they're pretty interesting. All right, it's Dave and hope you enjoy it. And this is 4th of July, so happy 4th of July, everyone. Right next to where I have just put a concrete extension on the floor, I'm actually going to start working on my Husqvarna tractor, which sadly has really been out of the scene for 3 years. I mean, I can get it to run. It has a carburetor on it. I can get it to run, but it will not start up on its own without some help from well, I don't know what it's called. It's not brake cleaner. It's the other stuff. I use it for lifters and seats. Yeah, seafoam. So I have to put seafoam in it to get it started. Then it works fine. And the reasoning behind that is that for some reason, which I'll go into over time, water got into the carburetor and actually stayed in the carburetor throat and body and got up to the valves in the engine itself. So I no longer have a very good setup. As can be seen right here, this is the original carburetor. Now I started to work on this about 2 years ago and dipped these guys in simple green solution, the float stuff, but stopped because I could get a Chinese carburetor for like 20 bucks. Well, the Chinese carburetor doesn't have the same choke system, and right now the Chinese carburetor is on my other tractor, and my other tractor's carburetor, which was a really good one, original, is on this Husqvarna that we're working with. But now that Chinese carburetor is failing like they so often do, surging and all kinds of, giving an indication of starvation of fuel, but without that happening. So for people who are familiar will know that it's kind of one of those things, those chances you take. So I need to get this thing back on. It has a unique choke system, has a heated switch and I kind of lost that stuff for a while, but I've now collected it all up. Alright, I brought you to a much lighter place. These are the parts I have for this carburetor, besides the actual throttle body, the float bowl. You got your float, there's your float. You've got, I guess it's an injection piece. Where's that go? Right here. right here. I haven't used this in a while. And you know, of course, the piece that does this. But these guys are clean. They've been sitting in simple green solution for months, probably a year. These guys are in trouble. Color. I think I should be able to get this in here. Yep. And this guy, yeah, look at that. Let's see if we can get some out of that. But anyhow, I'm going to submerge it with full strength. I'm going to leave it. Alright, I'm not sure where I'm going to read here yet. Probably the bottom, the floor bowl and all that stuff. I'm going to replace that, obviously. Okay guys, today I'm going to try to put this back up and recreate the original choke system, which has a vane. I want to say an air vane because it's right against the flywheel. Anyhow, this guy right here needs to go on the machine, and we're going to start to change over to certain areas. Alright, so mod number one. Remember I said I moved the Chinese carburetor over to the Craftsman from the Husqvarna? Well, I transferred the whole assembly, and this is the tab I need on my intake manifold. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. You see it right there? That guy. I need that. So instead of taking one carburetor off, I'll be taking two assemblies, and I will be yeah, so both of them will be down for a day or two.
3 hours later.
Right, I'm going to straight out change it, but I noticed that this clip stayed on. And this is from the Husqvarna. So I'm going to try to get that off. Did bring some brake clean. Did bring some brake clean. Oh, things always fall apart. Ow. Sounds like I'm gonna have to do some, let's start. Sounds like I'm gonna have to take the carburetor off anyhow. Run without choking. Alright, this is the problem right here. When this guy comes down, and I know this is in the way right now, which, by the way, I think was a problem on the Craftsman. Okay. I'll put it in there. Okay, when this guy comes down, it goes in here, but how does it interact with this guy? Because this guy actually expands and goes this way as this head heats up. So how does that work? So I got to figure that out before I go ahead and do it, because this quite obviously is a tab in the choke that is affected somehow. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and figure it out, and I'll be back. Alright, the way it's working for me is that this is actually going to stay down here. So whatever I have over here, you can see how it works. Okay, kind of want to document this. This is my choke. It only goes, I think, this far up. And the thing is this is supposed to push this down as it warms up, I believe, or it'll open it up. But that's as far as it goes. What I'm going to try to do is adjust this cable, see if it does go any further, because it's supposed to be touching that at its farthest travel. And when I do this, it's nowhere close. Alright. Okay, I'm going to try it just by cranking first, which I haven't checked yet to see if it will crank.
Dead battery?
Well, we don't have to worry about now. We got some charging time, because this thing ain't even, it's not even turning. It's dead, and dead. Yeah, nothing wants to do anything without a good fight. This has been a problem with me for about 2 years now or so. Every time I work on this damn thing, and that's one of the reasons why this is like a big deal. Every time I try to work on this thing, 14 or 15 other problems present themselves. In this case, the battery wasn't charging at all, but I think it was because it's completely rusted and it wasn't making good contact. So I'm going to clean it off and put it on my big charger and run it and just recondition it. All right. Guess I can take it off since it's full. Good. I knew it wasn't a bad battery. I knew it was just a combination of the connections and stuff. I'm going to go back and work on the choke. Make sure I've set up the choke right and stuff in the next few minutes. See if we got any gas going on. Squirt. Pulling. Okay, let's see. It started up just a minute ago, so. Also got shit wrong with the carburetor. Let's try it this way. Because even my choke, I've been adjusting it, trying to figure out its range. It has virtually no range. See it work? No, it don't work. It's a problem I had before. I think I'm back to a very common problem. That doesn't do anything. All right. Well, I was gonna say it works, but in order to work, you got to repeat the process like a science experiment. In order to have a theory, it's got to be mostly repeatable in order to become a law. It's got to be absolutely repeatable. Alright. It was a brief flip. Alright, right after I said it, it wouldn't repeat itself, and the camera it started up again. But with ether again, and that's the whole point. I don't want to start it with ether. This is Florida. It's like, right now it's 85 or 89, somewhere around there degrees. It's like 8 in the morning. It's gonna get a lot hotter. This sucker shouldn't use choke ever, but it does have choke, and it looks like, I just don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Carburetors are clean, the jets are clean. They're pretty much, this one's been rebuilt. I may take it apart again just to see what's going on in the carburetor, see if there's anything different. Yeah. Now, knowing the differences in the chokes and the manifolds and all that stuff, I may actually put the Chinese carburetor on this one for comparison once I go through the Chinese carburetor. That's the only one that's been working actually on the Craftsman for a while. And there's no difference in the carburetors as far as build quality. There's definitely a difference, but the everything that's different is outside of the carburetor, you know, in the manifold. So I don't know. I also took, yeah, let me turn this, I'll bring you back to it. The Craftsman, I've got to a point too. Man, that was something. I just couldn't believe how many times I had to take off and put on carburetors, how many different pieces of carburetors weren't working, how much of the fuel systems weren't working, how many other choke. What do you want? There's just enough stuff on that. This tractor had a lot of issues, batteries, choke, etc. in this episode. In part 2, I'm going to actually, well, you'll have to watch part 2. Anyhow, if you liked it, go ahead and hit like, subscribe, comment, hit a bell, share it. And this is Dave from Saving Our Sanctuary, and I am out.